Hello and welcome. I am Nidhi and I'm going to show you a trick to help businesses when they expand internationally. Imagine that you are a remote HR professional. Now, when companies grow globally, they need to comply with various requirements. But most importantly, they must adhere to foreign HR laws. So, this includes labor laws, employment laws, and all types of statutes that they have to comply with. Comply with these laws, they need policies that are globally compliant across all locations where the company is located. So, I'm going to show you how to create one such policy. Of course, this isn't a heavily regulated area, but it's certainly an important one. So, today I will walk you through how you can create a global anti discrimination policy using Claude in just a couple of minutes. Now, this policy is essential for any company operating across multiple countries as there are consistent standards while respecting the global legal frameworks as well. So let me share my screen and teach you how you can draft this using AI. Now, as you can see on my screen, my first prompt is I need you to act as an HR manager for a company which has presence in multiple countries. Now, this is essential because we're doing a global anti-discrimination policy. I said the name of the company is Blue Dolphins. I need you to create a global anti-discrimination policy for the company that I can send across to all employees. Please ask me 10 relevant questions that will help you to draft the sale. Now, whenever you're dealing with AI, make sure that you ask AI to ask you questions so that it becomes easier, it becomes more comprehensive, and then there's no gap. Let's see what it says. Questions for developing Blue Dolphin's global anti discrimination policy. Let's go through them and the answers right here. It says, in which countries does Blue Dolphins currently operate? So I see the company has presence in UK, USA, Canada, UAE, and India. Does Blue Dolphins currently have any existing anti-discrimination policy? So I say no, I needed to create a fresh policy. Next, it asks me, what are the core values and company culture principles that it should be reflected in the policy? So I say we need focus on equal opportunity, equal pay, non-discrimination on grounds of sex, all of those things. Now, AI can elaborate upon that. Have there been any specific incidents or challenges? What reporting mechanisms would Blue Dolphins prefer to implement? So I say the complaints, if any, should be addressed to a dedicated hotline and email ID that shall be looked into by the HR department. I've also asked AI to create a number and email right here. Okay. Of course, in real life, we will put the number as it is and the email ID as it is. How would Blue Dolphins like to approach policy enforcement, including investigation procedure and disciplinary action? So I say that disciplinary action shall be initiated against personnel violating the policy, and action should vary from warning to termination. Now, this depends on the seriousness of the misconduct. Therefore, you can see that I have written list all the actions that come in between. So there could be like a pay deduction or a suspension till termination. So we've gone to all levels of punishment that can exist. Next, it says, what training and education initiatives is Blue Dolphins willing to commit? So I say, okay, we will carry out an annual training to ensure that all employees are aligned with this. Specific protected characteristics. So I said that I've already answered this. And who will be responsible for implementing, monitoring, and updating the policy? So I say, of course, the HR department. And you can see that that's just it, right? I gave one prompt. I asked AI to ask me 10 questions. It asked me these questions and I have answered this. And just in that, I have a comprehensive policy that AI has drafted for me. Perfect. So it appears on the letterhead of the company. It has given the title correctly. Let's look at the policy statement. Blue Dolphins is committed to providing equal opportunities and fostering an inclusive work environment where all employees are treated with dignity and respect. Prohibition of discrimination, reflecting our core values. So you can see all the core values that I had answered in the prompt, they're incorporated right here. The purpose of the policy. So the purpose of the policy is to establish clear standards of conduct. Perfect. This will be applicable globally. Compliance with all anti-discrimination laws also. So you can see that the laws of different countries are taken into consideration by AI and incorporated in this policy. So your research has been cut down substantially. Promote diverse, equitable, and inclusive workplace culture, clear procedures. Of course, we're talking about what is prohibited and what is not, but we will also tell in this policy what if there is a violation, right? So incorporated perfectly. Consequences for policy violation. If you remember, I had answered this question in the prompt as well. Perfect. Who does it apply to? So it applies to all employees, contractors, consultants, jobs. And if you see, it says that it's applicable to all locations in UK, USA, Canada, UAE, India, at future locations as well. So perfectly incorporated by AI again. Perfect. Moving to definitions. So it is given the definition of discrimination, indirect, direct, harassment, victimization, everything incorporated perfectly. What are the protected characteristics? We are talking about anti discrimination. So we need to know what is protected and what is not. And it says here, Blue Dolphin prohibits discrimination based on following protected characteristics. And it may vary by jurisdiction, but all are protected under this global policy. So the laws are interpreted, research is done well by AI in a single prompt, and all of these things come in here. So it goes from age to pregnancy, race, religion, sex, gender, sexual orientation, and any other characteristic that is protected by law as well. Perfect. What is prohibited? So discrimination in hiring, termination, compensation benefits, harassment, so and so. All of these have been covered perfectly. Then we move on to reporting procedures. So how to report, what information, how to report, what information to include. If you see, we had talked about a hotline and email. It has created that number. In real life, of course, you put out your real number. The email has been incorporated here. So goes very well with the policy. Direct report to manager, supervisor, or HR representative. What it also says that when you're going ahead and giving a complaint, what should you include? So the description, the date, name of the individuals involved, witnesses, supporting documentation. And it also goes on to say that yes, these proceedings will be confidential in nature. What is the process? How would the investigation happen? HR department, how will the investigation be carried out? What interim measures could be given and what the resolution could be. So it clearly says that yes, disciplinary action could be taken. What kind of disciplinary measures? You can see my prompt has been taken up perfectly. I said that it could be warning to termination, and all the things that go on in between are incorporated by AI, which is PIP, mandatory training, suspension, demotion, probation, so on and so forth, everything incorporated here. Now, yes, we spoke about training, so it has incorporated that as well, that all employees will receive training once they join, annually thereafter. And of course, if there are significant changes, HR has the responsibility for monitoring this policy, doing the annual updations. So, perfect incorporation again. Yes, employees are expected to comply with this policy, treat colleagues with dignity, respect, participate in investigations, and complete required training. The policy may be reviewed. Yes, if reviewed, the HR will review it. And of course, we will communicate the updates. Non retaliation has been incorporated again. That yes, there should be no retaliation against whoever is reporting the discrimination. Coming to the legal framework, AI has incorporated. I just told AI the countries. So I said it's UK, USA, Canada, UAE, and India. All the acts that are applicable for anti discrimination, anti harassment in these countries, they have been incorporated here. And we go ahead and train individuals on all of these acts, right? We have trained professionals to understand the Equality Act of UK, to understand the Title 7 of US, and so on and so forth. So you have a deeper understanding of these acts as well. And the research is done here for you. You just need to be in a position to understand whether the incorporation is correct or not, whether it needs edits or not. That's when you're good to go. So legal framework, it is compliant with. I have checked it, and the contact information is given that yes, for any queries, you can, of course, contact the HR department. Policy effective date is also given. So, in my opinion, here, the entire policy is perfectly drafted. It barely took me two prompts, but it took me understanding of the legislations that are there in these countries to understand whether this is compliant with the law or not. And we have helped people exactly with that. Now, the natural question that would come to your mind is, how do I use this skill? Now, I know how to draft the global anti discrimination policy, but how do I go ahead and pitch this to businesses, startups? So, let me take you through that. Now, all you need to do is just go to Google. I have just typed international startup funding, as simple as that, and I've gone to news. Okay. Now you can see a plethora of startups who received funding from various organizations, the 11 largest global startup funding rounds of February 2025. So much, right? So you just go ahead and open this, find the founders of these startups on LinkedIn. You'll easily get through those. Yeah. Let's go through this. The 11 largest global startup funding rounds of February 2025. You get the news, you get the names of the startups right here. Scroll down, do some analysis. You will see the description, you will see the investors. You will also easily be able to find the names of the founders. What is it that you do? You reach out to these founders. And you don't even have to type out a message on your own. I tool ChatGPT or Claude can do it for you. And I have drafted one such message that you can directly send to these founders. This is a sample that you can use as it is and pitch your skills immediately. You can say, "Hi, name of the founder. Congratulations on your recent success and plans for international expansion. Expanding globally brings exciting opportunities, but also introduces complex data challenges. So, this is international compliance, cross border policies, so and so. Immediately, what can I help you with?" You say, "I can help you with establish clear international HR compliance guidelines, and you know how to use AI to do it. Design effective remote work policies and optimize cross border payroll processes. I've seen firsthand how critical it is to address these nuances early to avoid costly pitfalls and ensure a smooth global growth. As an experienced HR professional based in India, specializing in international HR compliance, I'd be happy to share insights. Would you be open to a quick call next week? I'd love to offer you a complimentary, tailored 90-day action plan to minimize these initial challenges, and you sign off with your name." Perfectly drafted message, again done by GPT. I did not do it by myself. You just give the correct prompt on how you want to approach the startup and you can get there. Now, I understand that this is the final message, but you need to be able to give the correct prompts. How to give those prompts, I will teach you in the boot camp. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I have used two AI tools here, Claude to draft the policy and ChatGPT to draft the outreach message. So now you not only know how to draft the anti discrimination policy, but you also know how to use this skill to pitch to startups who are expanding internationally and monetize upon this immediately. How did you like it? I would love to hear from you. This is me, Nidhi, signing off, and I will see you soon.